today's video, we are going to talk about how Africans end up on the streets of the United Arab Emirates. We know there are so many Africans on the streets of Dubai, and we are here to understand how do Africans, after leaving their country in hopes to find a better future, in hopes to find greener pastures, hopes to find better jobs in the United Arab Emirates, how do they then end up on the streets? So if you are not aware, these are facts, these are things that are happening in Dubai. Africans are being so stranded on the streets of Dubai. So in this video, we are going to try to understand, how does this happen? What is the problem? What is the factor that is making Africans continuously go to the United Arab Emirates and end up on the streets of Dubai? You walk around Deira and you cannot believe your eyes. The girls working on the streets as prostitutes, people homeless on the Dubai streets, they are sleeping in the terrace areas, they are sleeping in the anywhere really. So how do they end up on the streets of the United Arab Emirates? In this video, we are not going to talk about racism, which is a factor, but we are not going to talk about that. We are not going to talk about lack of recognition for qualifications. So when an African has studied in Africa, qualified in Africa, how do they easily transition into another country like the United Arab Emirates? How are they perceived as their qualifications? Is it easy? We are not going to talk about that. That is going to be a video for another day. We are not going to talk about visa issues. Africans coming to the United Arab Emirates on visit visas, and they are hoping to get jobs with their visit visas, and maybe they can change status and become residents. We are not going to talk about the visa issues. We are not going to talk about the language barrier. Yes, there are some Africans who can speak fluent Arabic, but we are not going to talk about those language barriers of Africans who cannot speak Arabic, because it's a whole another topic. We are not going to talk about the economic pressure, because as an African, when you leave Africa, your economic status, the money you have, is it going to help you to transition into another country such as the United Arab Emirates? Once again, let's not talk about the lack of a support system. When you leave Africa and you go into the United Arab Emirates, you go into any other country, you leave your support system behind. So when you land into this country, all the difficulties, everything that you're going to face, you're going to be on your own because you don't have your support system. So we are not going to talk about that. So what are we going to talk about in this video? We are going to talk about two things: job opportunities available for Africans in the United Arab Emirates. We are also going to add in like a pinch of the fake agents, which agents are actually Africans. They lie to Africans and they convince Africans that there are better job opportunities for them in the United Arab Emirates, when in fact the job opportunities, like I'm going to discuss, have significantly reduced. I'm going to explain why they have significantly reduced. I'm also going to give you my perspective and my experience and my prediction of what a future of an African in the United Arab Emirates is going to be like. So the fake agents, first of all, they are Africans who left Africa somewhat in a similar way, but others in a better way. Some Africans were recruited by companies and taken to the United Arab Emirates to work in a moment when jobs were really available for them. Jobs like driving taxi, jobs like cleaning, jobs like security. And in those days, the money was good. They would offer a minimum of like $1,000 for a Ugandan, for any African. That is definitely good money. It could change someone's life in so many ways. People who went abroad those days, their lives changed forever. They have big houses, they have investments in Africa. They have generally changed their life forever. But here is the kick. With time, job opportunities for Africans have reduced because of the influx of Asians into the United Arab Emirates. So every single day, so many Asians, along with Africans, along with other people, but let's talk about Asians, have come into the United Arab Emirates. And the job market prefers Asians, understandably so, because maybe of the language, whichever reasons. So the job opportunities for Africans have reduced. That is one. The amount of money for these jobs has also significantly reduced. A job where they were paying someone $1,000, right now they are paying them $500. Yeah, so the amount of money has reduced. Now imagine, everyone hopes to grow in their career, to grow financially, to get a raise every other year. But in the United Arab Emirates, because contracts expire every 2 years, after 2 years, people's salaries have been brought down, people have lost their jobs, and this has affected someone. Like if someone is hoping to grow, they are not achieving the growth, they have decided, you know what, I could start a business. And some of these people have become agents. So by becoming agents, they are recruiting other Africans from Africa to bring them into the United Arab Emirates, while all these people were brought into the UAE for free because the companies really needed employees. They sponsored their visas, they sponsored their tickets and brought them to work. The story is not true for every other African that followed. The rest of us, we have had to dig deep inside our pockets with money that we don't have. Some of us have borrowed money from friends, some have borrowed money from the banks in Africa, some have sold their properties. My previous video, I was telling you how Africans are wealthy because we have land, we have property. To me, that is wealth. But if I sold my piece of land in Uganda, it wouldn't amount to much, in a way that I can get, let me say, I can get like $10,000 and I'm able to travel to another country, which $10,000 cannot sustain me very well into this new country. For example, how long would I be able to survive with this $10,000 in Dubai without getting a job? And like I say, the jobs opportunities have reduced. So if I sell my land in Africa, I've instantly become poor in Africa, and I've traveled to the United Arab Emirates, spent all the 10,000 or spent all the money I got from my land. So these agents are exploiting fellow Africans by falsely advertising job opportunities in the United Arab Emirates for their personal gains. So they'll tell you that, hey Monica, if you can get $10,000, yeah, you are a qualified, you are a qualified pharmacologist, you are a qualified scientist, you are a qualified pharmacist, you are a qualified doctor, I can easily get you a job in the United Arab Emirates in the same field. Remember, the money is going to be looking very good, and we all know the fact that a doctor in the United Arab Emirates is being paid a good amount of money. So you will think like, okay, I can see, let me take this risk. Also, you'll be looking at this agent who is recruiting you, whom you know, you can see his properties, you can see he has an apartment, but he is exploiting me because the fact is the jobs are not as exactly available. So I'm gonna decide to sell my land for $10,000 and spend it to go chase a dream. So that is how so many Africans, after reaching the United Arab Emirates, you don't see the job, you're already poor back home, you cannot just go back home. Some people borrow money, so many people owe you back home, you cannot literally just go back. So you find yourself stranded and you decide to go on Dubai streets and become homeless. Some girls end up deciding, you know what, if this is a way to make some money, to get myself out of this hole that I dug myself, along with fake agents, of course, I'm gonna go on the streets and, So those are the two reasons, but all intertwined. The lack of opportunities for Africans, the increasing, the depreciating opportunities for Africans. And how are they depreciating? Once again, I've talked about this, but I need to repeat. Asians and so many people from any other country are coming into the United Arab Emirates, and the job market prefers them. So they will literally kick out an African from a job to hire an Asian who has literally just landed. So with that, continuously, the job opportunities are very low for Africans, and so many other Africans who have made it before, they have had their footing, they feel like, I think I got this, I think now life is gonna be like this, the trajectory is going to be, now that I'm at this entry level, I might become a supervisor, I might become, manager in future, but they get kicked out before that time comes. And when you get kicked out of any job, especially if you had so many expenses as an African. I mean, you have a loan, you sold your land, so you need to buy land. It means continuously every money you made, even in the 2-year contract that you had with the company, you've been spending it every single month. So once you lose your job, that very day, literally, you are homeless. And it is how so many more Africans end up on the streets of the United Arab Emirates. The other thing that we're not going to talk about in this video is the human trafficking. That is a project that I'm working on. It's going to be a very big project with so many interviews of the girls that were trafficked. So I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to talk about it yet. It's like my big project. So kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment, like this video, share it, give me your perspective. Do you believe me? Do you not believe me? You need a little bit more explanation, because sometimes I don't make scripts of what I'm going to talk about, I have experienced these things very deeply, and I just literally sit here and discuss this topic because I feel like I know it. Sometimes when you comment your perspective, you disagree with me, then I have time to sit down, relax, understand your question, and respond to you with a little bit more explanation or a little bit more insight. Thank you for hanging with me, Global Pulse with Monica. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.